Till now, we have learnt about one-dimensional diagrams where only the y-axis or the x-axis is used for measurement. Now we are going to learn about a few types of diagrams where both the x-axis and y-axis will be used for measurement of different variables. So the first type of two-dimensional diagram we will learn about is rectangles. Now just to remind you, a rectangle is a combination of a length and a breadth of different values which gives its unique shape. Now the area of a rectangle is measured by multiplying the breadth of the rectangle with its length. And the area of a rectangle in this type of diagram represents the value of the variable being measured. So it's a combination of both the length and the breadth. For example, the total value of sales would be calculated by multiplying the actual quantity of sales by the price at which the goods are sold. That will gives us the total sales or total revenue of the company. Now let's see, the graph which we are going to use shows a company's number of units produced on the y-axis, and then we measure the per unit production cost on the x-axis. Therefore, the total cost which is represented by each bar for a company is the total cost obtained by multiplying the per unit cost, which is the width of the bar, with the length of the bar, which is the amount of output produced. Let's see the graph. If you can see it, for company B, it is 10.5 rupees per unit cost multiplied by total output of 2500, which gives us a total cost of 25,200. For company A, on the other hand, it is 12 rupees per unit cost multiplied by total number of units produced, which gives us 12 into 2000, 24,000 is the total production cost. We can easily see the total cost of company B is more, but that is because it is also producing more, but the per unit cost is much lesser. This tells us that if company B is more efficient than company A at its production capabilities. Now we'll look at squares. The area of a square is obtained by side square or length square, that is multiplying the length by itself, because both length and breadth are equal for a square. The value of the area or the calculation of the area tells us the total value of a measure which is being used for comparison for two different groups which are very different or which are spread very wide or very wide. For such kinds of data where the observations vary very widely, we use a square diagram. Each side of the square will represent the actual observed value, and as seen in the rectangular diagram also, each bar represents the number of or the total value of some measure. Here in our diagram, we will use each bar to represent the number of schools in a given decade. So we have 4 decades across which we will measure the number of schools. Now what happens is, in 1917-80 there were only 4 schools in a particular city. By 2000-2010 there were 64 schools in that city. If we drew a diagram where only the y-axis was being used for measurement and x-axis was used to show the various decades, we would have a very tall bar for the 2000-2010 decade and a very small bar for 1970 and 1980 number of schools. So that would give us a very mutated image which is difficult to remember or understand. So to avoid this problem, we reduce the scale of the number of schools in 2000-2010 by taking its square root, and that gives us the side of each length and breadth of each square. So for 2000-2010 the breadth is 8 and the height is 8. Similarly, for 1990 to 2000 we get 6 as the breadth and the height of the square. and this makes it easy to compare where there were very few schools in the 2 decades previously. In 1970 to 1980 there were only 4 schools, and 1980 to 1990 there were only 9 schools. This makes us easily observe the increase in number of schools while making it comparable and memorable. The next type of two-dimensional diagram is a circle. In a circle, we use the same concept of squares, but instead here we draw it as pi r square, because the area of each circle is obtained by the formula pi r square. So for 1990 to 2000, we have a radius of 6, which gives us this total circle area, and we'll draw the circle using a protractor or a compass. Similarly, we'll take a radius of 8 and draw the circle for representing the number of schools in 2000-2010. Now, this help also makes it easy to comprehend and remember the difference or the growth in number of schools in that city over time, while also make it easy to compare. If we had not used this kind of square root and we had used the actual number of schools, that is 64, we would have had a huge circle, and in comparison we would have had a very small circle for the period 1970 to 1980. By taking square root, it helps us to make it comprehensible in the same diagram and